What's up, everybody? Ace Lion here. We're going over Wonderlands update for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. It is 1040A, and it's going to be a big one here, so it's going to be a lot of reading. Let's go ahead and see what we got. We are increasing the Chaos Chamber cap to 50 from 35, so we're getting 15 more Chaos Chamber levels and keep us busy. We have a new tier of gear, Ascended. That's going to be pretty interesting to see. A new run has been added to the Chaos Chambers, a boss run. I wonder what that's going to look like. It's going to be pretty cool. Added support for the AMD FSR 2.0. Helps out you guys there, I guess. And the Wheel of Fate drop changes. We have Wheel of Fate categories now include an improved 1.5 times dedicated drop chance at legendaries from each DLC that the host Fate Maker owns and has the correct progress in, assuming the category they landed on has any dedicated DLC legendaries associated with it. This dedicated chance scales with luck, so that's going to be good for you guys. And the Wheel of Fate now spawns 4 guaranteed gear pieces when you land on a gear category. The rarity chances of that gear now scale better with luck. When landing on a customization category, the Wheel of Fate now spawns 2 customizations normally associated with badasses from the main game, plus 2 customizations from each DLC that the host owns and has the correct progress in. So that's going to be kind of nice there. It's going to add a little more to the Wheel of Fate. Let's see here. We've also got some extra fixes here. Bad numbers when loading into DLC content. Loading into the introduction area and navigating to the obelisks, and setting a chaos level in Chaos Chambers. Apparently they fixed those crashes for people. Let's see. Addressed also these following concerns. Fate Makers will be pulled into random runs after completing the max trial level in the Chaos Chamber. Added an indicator for max chaos levels in Chaos Chambers. Chaos Trial runs are now never random and loop through the same core set. Fusion Orbs no longer require manual pickup. Chaos Chamber would not spawn as many enemies as we wanted. Increased the amount slightly. It's been affecting me a lot recently as well. The cinematic skip has been improved. We are also re-enabling the cinematic skip in Brighthoof. We added a press to confirm hold when deleting a character. Players joining a multiplayer game late were occasionally unable to select currently loaded characters. Slamming down on a large crystal die would occasionally launch players out of the map. So I guess they finally fixed that. We'll stop seeing those videos popping up. Gear would not sort correctly when sorting by type. Item cards would overlap the bank inventory when comparing gear. The bank inventory has been adjusted to change size when Fate Makers are doing comparisons. Alright, well, hopefully that helps out. Marshmallow spell would occasionally disappear when hitting terrain in multiplayer. The sigil protection spells incorrectly referenced damage resistance instead of damage reduction on the item card. The conspiring enchantment would not extend bonuses to companions while Spore Warden's Blizzard skill was active. Let's see, other Fate Makers and companions would occasionally appear as dead to other Fate Makers. It would freak me out sometimes. Loot would occasionally drop above the level cap, so I guess they fixed that again. Bottle cap shortcuts would not always display on Aura map when save and quitting into the overworld. Shrines and campaign challenge progress would not always visually update when viewing the World Buffs tab in the Aura menu. Find Castle area in Queen's Gate was missing an area discovery name. Has been named Crashed Bastion. Fast travel names have also been updated. Some dogfish enemies had no names. They have been named. Ear cosmetics were dropping with no rarity level. They fixed that. Purple ghosts would come back to life with human skin. Let's see. In console, various split screen subtitle improvements. Okay. Various UI adjustments and improvements. Various sound effect adjustments. Various telemetry improvements. Various audio changes and adjustments. Various performance and stability improvements. Various micro patches were nativized, and more. And more. So I wish we knew a little bit more, but I'm sure it's all the technical stuff. Let's see here. They also address the following gear-specific reported concerns. Some guns lost the ability to be enchanted. The Thunder Anima, the Donkey, Birthright, Goblin Repellent, and the Cow Con will be able to be dropped as enchanted and re-rolled in Brighthoof. DLC enemies would occasionally be too calm after Counterfeit activated the Shadow Dummy. Health bar would not update correctly when the Fate Maker did not have a ward equipped. The Bad Egg would give an additional unintended 35% dark damage to all melee attacks. In addition to its base melee buff, the ward's intent is only to award the dark magic bonus when the ward is depleted. So it looks like they fixed the Bad Egg. I heard about that kind of late. So that was giving out extra damage, and now they fixed that. A bug was causing Caustic melee hilt was able to be stacked multiple times, dealing unintended damage. I wasn't aware about that one. Shell Casing Ring would trigger incorrectly. The Gears bonus will now correctly activate when the Fate Maker's ammo is low. The team also increased the bonus while the current gun is low on ammo from 50% to 66%. The threshold for low ammo has also been raised from 30% to 50%. So that's nice there, because half ammo is low ammo. Some elemental puddles would not have the expected appearance. I guess they fixed that. And here's the big one, guys. Adjusted live wire. Now, it doesn't sound too bad, but the live wire's chain lightning beam would scale its damage based on how low your ammo was, with 0 doing the most damage. We've removed that scaling and balanced the beam to do the same amount of damage for what it would have done with no ammo. So they've made every swing at 0 ammo. This is an overall buff, right? But made the gun perform a bit stronger than intended, so we are slightly reducing its damage. So they're reducing, I guess, the chain lightning beam damage by 12.5%. So it doesn't sound too bad. I'll be seeing when it goes live how it looks. That's going to be my first tune I'm pulling out. Let's see here. We addressed the specific class concerns. Spell Shot's imbued weapon skill would fail to stack twice when casting 2 spells of the same element. The Stabomancer Contagion skill had a bug that would allow it to sometimes repeatedly apply status effects, leading to unintended amounts of damage. Alright, so that might be bigger than the live wire. It looks like Contagion's been hit a little bit. Stabomancer's From the Shadow skill would not consistently critically hit when the Fate Maker would use some melee weapons. Clawbringer Dedication skill would incorrectly give the max cooldown rate instead of scaling based on the Fate Maker's remaining ward. Let's see. Spore Warden's Called Shot skill incorrectly referenced damage resistance instead of damage reduction on the skill description. The Spore Warden's Play the Angles was not increasing ricochet damage after a critical hit as intended. So that sounds like that might be a nice little bump to play the angles there. Berserker's Blast Chill and Graveborn's Blast Gap would not scale as intended. That's going to be interesting to see how those play out. Graveborn's Reaper of Bones skill referenced Leech efficiency instead of Dark Magic efficiency. The Graveborn Harvest skill would unintentionally keep stacking for the Shroomy companion past its stack limit, so it looks like the Spore Warden Graveborn mixes there are getting a little bit of a hit. The Demi-Lich companion attack element would not convert properly when the Fate Maker had the Mantis Claw armor equipped. The Mushroom companion had no loyalty and would target other Fate Makers' pings. So there's that. And here's change notes now. This is going into the Chaos Chambers. It looks like we're keeping the Crystalline Chaos going on. That's 50% base crystals gained from clearing the big room and from the big dice reward. And it also doubles the base crystals for bonus objectives in the Chaos Chamber as well as the switches. the featured run has changed, and from what we've been told, it's mimics. So I like seeing that, although I do read here that the server featured the daily polls and the community members champion their favorite bosses for a week, and it was a close call, but Drill had the most active champions and will be the boss run for this week. So Drill is our boss, and it's all mimics. So that's kind of like getting all ice cream, but it's got to be like dirt flavored ice cream. So that's pretty cool, though. I like it. We'll have some fun with the mimics. And don't forget to check out the vending machines. I don't know what's going to be in there, but I like how they changed that up now. Here's some more change notes. And improved how Dragon Lord's dedicated loot pool is set up to prevent faults in the drop chances. Parasite was not scaling properly when Chaos mode was turned on. And then prevented Fate Makers from accessing an unintended area in the overworld when trying to collect a Zumio shrine piece. So we got that fixed, and then we got some spell adjustments here, and there's several of them in here. The Barrel Maker's damage and status effect damage increased by 100%. The Dazzler's cooldown reduced from 18 to 12 seconds. The Dazzler's damage has been increased by 268%. Frozen Orb damage has been increased by 275%. Let's see here. Note, Frozen Orb has a known issue where it fails to collide with some enemies. This will be fixed in a future update, so they know about that at least. The Gelatinous Sphere's damage has been increased by 100%. The Gelatinous Sphere's status effect damage has been increased by 20%. And the Gelatinous Sphere's cooldown reduced from 24 seconds to 9 seconds. That's pretty huge. The Glacial Cascade's damage has been increased by 30%. That's actually one of my favorite ice spells. The Laser Hand's damage has been increased by 525%. It looks like they want people to start using that a little bit. The Reviver's damage has been increased by 38%. The Reviver's Seeker projectile damage has been increased by 100%. And the Reviver's cooldown has been reduced from 36 seconds to 24 seconds. So it looks like they want people to start using that as well. Those are some interesting changes. The Sawblade's damage and status effect damage has been increased by 100%. The Time Skip's damage has been increased by 100%. And also a note here, they're aware of the bug that's causing the Time Skip's damage over time effect to not apply properly. Again, fixed in a future update. The Threads of Fate damage has been increased by 50%. The Inflammation spell charges are increased by 3. The Inflammation's damage and status effect damage have been increased by 30%. And the Twister's damage has been increased by 10%. And then now we're wrapping up here. We got the class adjustments, and they're letting us know here they don't want to make any big adjustments until the new Blight Caller comes out. But we do have some changes to the Spell Shot and Clawbringer. And here we have the Spell Shot changes. We've seen Spell Shot being utilized as the premier damage dealing class since the launch. We're looking to keep that strength, but found that the additional stack damage it can do with spell weaving was contributing to that imbalance, along with the amount of spell damage applied to gun damage from magic bullets. So spell weaving has been adjusted. The spell damage per stack from 10% to 8%. And then magic bullets has adjusted the amount of spell damage that is applied to gun damage from 15% to 12.5%. So those are just small adjustments, and hopefully it won't be too bad. Small numbers are usually good when it comes to nerfs, so that's nice. And then the Clawbringer changes. The Clawbringer is still underperforming from what they would like to see. We're increasing the damage done by a few skills that deal with raw ability damage and should help with some quality of life. It's an interesting way of putting it. This should make them a bit more competitive when building for ability damage, which is nice because I'd like to fix my Clawbringer. But it looks like Storm Smite has increased its base damage by 33%. Blast Hamat's Favor has increased the fire ability damage on gun kills by 25% and increased the lightning ability damage on melee damage kills by 33%. And Indomitable decreased the cooldown duration from 120 seconds to 100 seconds. So there were some good changes there. It looks like we may have dodged some big bullets here with the exception of Contagion. But hopefully you guys got the info that you're looking for here. And thanks for checking out the video. Like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to posting some more. Thanks and have a great day.